Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Touch and Bases podcast. I'm a little late to the show. I just got off work and just got home, so I'm catching up on some news that popped off that pretty much everybody beat me to. But if you're watching this video, you know what it's about. Teoscar Hernandez. I would be wearing his jersey right now, but I'm a little bit saddened to see him go from the Mariners. But he is now signed with, damn it, once again, the Dodgers. He is signed with the Dodgers. The Dodgers have signed another all-star caliber player who, yes, he had a rough year last year, but he has been picked up for a 1-year, $23.5 million deal. No option. But guess what? They did the Dodger thing, which is, I honestly thinking is changing baseball, and they deferred. They deferred. It's $8.5 million of the $23.5 million is deferred and will be paid out between 2030 and 2039, which is, I mean, that's less than $1 million a year, but I'm guessing that he's probably going to take retirement in 2030. That's kind of my guess. So it's just a little bit extra payout that he's going to be able to use over the course of those 9 years. I mean, technically 10 years because 2030 is actually your whole anyways, I'm getting off track. So they're deferring everything, and they're picking up like crazy, and the roster is now looking insane. Like, I don't know if there's going to be a National League All-Stars versus American League All-Stars. I think it's going to be like the LA Dodgers versus with like Acuna Jr. and Matt Olson and maybe a few pitchers. And then there's going to be the American League. I don't see how in history we've ever even had a team that's been able to buy. I mean, I guess you want to consider the Yankees, but even them, they weren't buying. It wasn't like superstar teams. It was just players that were good, and they were good, but they weren't like the superstars of superstars. You weren't buying the most expensive players that ever play. You weren't spending the record-setting contracts for a two-way player. You weren't setting record contracts for a starting pitcher. You weren't taking one of the best pitchers in the American League and bringing them on your team all in one offseason. Like, this stuff was spread out. I'm not upset. I'm just disappointed. If your dad's ever told you that, you should be worried. It doesn't seem fair, but at the same time, it is fair. And I hope that this is unlocking maybe some thoughts to certain teams out there to also go this route and start building their teams so there's some competition. Because at this point, it's a little bit weird because the Dodgers need to win the World Series in 2024, or they're going to be the biggest laughingstock in all of MLB. I don't care what you say, who you think you are, and what your opinion is. If the Dodgers don't win the World Series this next year in 2024, they're going to be a laughingstock of MLB because it shows that you cannot buy wins. Plain and simple. There's not much more to say about the Dodgers besides them adding one more weapon to an already insane team. For Teo, this is great, I think. This gives him a 1-year shot where he can prove himself and bring himself back up, and then it gives him an opportunity for the next year to get an extension or to go to another team and get the payroll he probably deserves. So it gives him another shot to really prove himself. But he's also doing it on the front stages where all the eyes are going to be on him because all the eyes are going to be on the Dodgers. And if they win a World Series, he gets a ring that goes on his resume, and his contract either gets extended or he goes to another team where he's going to get paid out very well if he performs. The other side of it is the Dodgers are a laughingstock that couldn't win a World Series after paying an untold amount of money. But then he's no longer affiliated with them, and other teams are going to see a star-studded team that's letting go of one of their star outfielders to put them on their own roster. Now, I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for saying all-star and star outfielder and all that stuff. I'm a little biased because it's Teoscar, but I mean, I understand his fielding was terrible last year. I understand his strikeouts were way too high a percentage. He was over 33. I think he was already over 31% or 30% strikeout rate, which is horrible. But he can hit bombs. And Safeco Field, I shouldn't say Safe. T-Mobile Park, I'm still getting used to this, is not a hitter-friendly stadium. A lot of people come to Safeco and they struggle hitting out of out of T-Mobile Park. I keep saying the wrong stadium. But where am I going to put him in the lineup for the Dodgers? Probably batting number 7th between Outman and Hayward. There's just so much power in this lineup that it's hard to make him a go-to position for like a 3, 4, 5 spot. It really doesn't make any sense, especially after last year's performance. I mean, you have Max Muncy, you have Shohei, who's only hitting next year, by the way. You have Mookie Betts, who's probably going to be leadoff. You have Will Smith, who he's been hitting bombs like crazy. I don't think he's going to be a 4. I'm going to guess he's probably more like a 5. You have Jason Hayward now. He'll probably be towards the bottom of the order. I'm going to guess like 8th. But like the only person, and he's not a bad bat either, but the only guy that I'm probably not going to be sweating every time he has a plate appearance is Lux. That's the only guy on this lineup that I wouldn't be legitimately worried about every time they come to the plate. I just don't see them signing any other position players. There's not really anybody else that they can replace that's not already high caliber star. Really, maybe a pitcher. I mean, almost all these guys are going to be in Texas next year for the All-Star game. I already feel it. I mean, they're already that level caliber. They're going to get the votes. So, yeah, maybe pitching. I mean, they have Glass now. They have Yamamoto, and Bueller's going to be back. Kershaw's probably still going to be out at least for the half of the season because of the shoulder injury. So maybe they go out for a pitcher, but honestly, probably highly unlikely because I don't know if any of the pitchers that are available are going to take a deferment like all of these guys are doing. But who knows? Maybe they'll follow suit. Maybe Snell will want to go to LA. Maybe Montgomery will want to go be a Dodger for a year. Who knows at this point? I wasn't expecting Hernandez to go to the Dodgers. I was guessing like Texas or maybe the Yankees as like a backup because the Yankees are pretty fully studded out in the outfield. Maybe the Red Sox, to replace Verdugo. So there's just an update for all you guys. By now, if you probably got this news from somebody else on another channel, and probably heard their input and everything. But if you did come here, I appreciate you guys tuning in to this very late update and very late breaking news story that happened today with Teoscar. I'm a big fan of him. I will always wish him the best. I really do. I really did appreciate what he did for Seattle, and he was fun to watch when he was there, even if he had a rough season last year. Please subscribe to the channel. We've only been here for about a week. Appreciate you guys. Subscribe, like the video, dislike the video. If you dislike the video, go ahead and leave a comment below and tell me exactly why you don't like the video and what you disagree with. But I'll talk about it calmly in the comments below about how great or terrible the Dodgers are, and if they're ruining baseball or if they're starting a whole new era of baseball that I don't know if I like yet, but whatever. It's not up to me. We're just going to have to get used to it. I'll see you tomorrow. See you.